So in this video, we're going to be looking at how to solve application problems that involve linear inequalities in a single variable. And this particular problem is going to involve calculating the score needed to obtain a desired average. So if we read through this, it says in the first 3 trials of the 100-meter butterfly, which is a type of swim stroke, a swimmer had average times of 50.2, 49.8, and 50.9 seconds. And the question says, how fast must he or she swim the final time trial to have an average time? We want average time to be less than 50 seconds. You must set up and solve an inequality to receive credit for this problem. So in this particular case, we want to calculate an average, and we want that average to be less than 50 seconds. So I'm going to use the letter A to represent the average time. And we see that we're going to swim a final time trial, and it's going to have a time associated with it, just like the first 3 did. So I'm going to let T represent the final time trial time, the time in which the final time trial is swam. And if I let A represent average time, this sentence right here is identifying that I want A to be less than 50. So I'm going to translate that into a mathematical statement. I want the average to be less than 50. So I have an inequality, and it says I must set up and solve an inequality or I don't get credit. So I want to make sure that I'm looking at an inequality on my homework paper. And then I need to think about how I calculate an average. So if I'm going to calculate an average time, remember that we calculate an average by taking the sum of the elements and then dividing it by the number of the elements that there are. So in this case, I have already swam 3 time trials. So I've swam 50.2 seconds plus I've swam 49.8 seconds plus I've swam 50.9 seconds plus I'm going to swim 1 more time trial, but I don't know what that time is yet. So plus the unknown time t. And you need to divide it by, you have the sum of the times needs to be divided by the total number of times. And I will have swam 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 3 known times and 1 unknown time for a total of 4 different time trials that I've swam. And then I can go ahead and add like terms here. So I can say, hey, this is going to be less than 50. And if I add these 3 numbers, I'm going to get 150.9 seconds plus the unknown time, all divided by 4. I can clear the 4 out of the denominator if I want to multiply both sides by that 4. So I get 200 over here. And 4 divided by 4 is going to equal 1. And 1 times the stuff in the parentheses is just going to be the stuff in parentheses. And then to get the t by itself, I would subtract the 150.9 from both sides. So I would get t is less than 49.1 seconds after having subtracted from both sides. And this is a story problem, so it's generally expected that you respond to a story problem in a complete sentence. So you interpret the result. So the swimmer must swim the final time trial in under, which is another way of saying less than, in under 49.1 seconds.